your number 8?
It is
Not
trains. No, it's Pandemic Legacy.
Season 1.
Season 1.
Blue.
Yes, blue. Blue, red. Funnily enough, at the UK Games Expo, there was a seller selling the blue box cheaper than they were selling the red box. Don't know why.
What a world. What a world.
Go faster, red.
It's because he really values Asian disease.
Evidently so, yes. Yes. As opposed to European.
For anyone, just in case that doesn't come across,
Come across
it's
it.
the colour of the cubes
Cubes.
in the game.
Yeah.
Just in case someone was like...
Oh dear. Oh dear.
So,
All those
why...
blue Europeans.
So
Well,
obviously most people will know about Pandemic, and they've already played Pandemic Legacy is the idea.
So, if Pandemic Legacy didn't exist, this number 8 probably would be Pandemic. Yeah.
Jeez, you're...
So what?
So what?
Yes.
Jackie Chan?
Oh no. Another
break.
co-op that is difficult.
So, no, but so Pandemic would be higher than Ghost Stories for you.
Ooh.
So Pandemic might be on the list, but not necessarily here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Pandemic
then I don't
was-
need to take a spit take with my delicious bit.
Okay. But yes, Pandemic, great game.
Great prices.
When it comes to co-op games, I like them to be difficult.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like them to be difficult and very challenging. Pandemic has that. I've always felt Pandemic doesn't have it can be as difficult as it could be. Like you haven't they got
Mate,
to run around the
ever
world.
beaten the game on hard?
For example,
Have you ever
no.
beaten it on hard?
Alec,
I think we went once.
Alec, we're playing the game, we win, and Alec says we need to eradicate it now. We
Yeah.
haven't won
Yeah,
otherwise.
yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
Pandemic, but you haven't chosen Pandemic. You've chosen
No,
Legacy.
Legacy. Because everything that Legacy does to Pandemic just soars it above everything. There's a reason it was the number 1 rated game for a long time.
It still is.
Is it still there?
Let's
Yeah,
not
and
date
in
the-
fact, this is number 1, and Through the Ages is number 2 now.
Don't date the episode, it may have fallen.
Dude,
Jesus.
I think that insert game name here is a great game.
Yes. So just to break down, you'll essentially be playing a minimum of 12 games of Pandemic.
A maximum of 24.
A maximum
if,
of 24.
If you've got to 24 games,
then what?
please, I want
The
to see your
world-
board.
the
Yeah.
world is destroyed.
A minimum of 12,
I think we
maximum of
should
24.
You keep talking.
Alright, are you getting the board?
I am getting
Alright, cool.
So,
And
professionals.
yes, exactly. And,
We can't move.
everything.
It's not like this at work, Tom.
Everything that happens, it's twist after turn after
Curve.
yes, after curve
After button.
after
No.
yeah,
Right.
and everything does have a consequence, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
You start out with a beautiful Pandemic board, and then it
You
turns
eventually
into,
just play
it
a
turns
regular
into
game of
monstrosity.
Pandemic, don't you? begin
Yeah,
with,
to start with, but even that first game,
Even managed to get in. You keep talking.
even that first game, something changes, which throws in a massive curveball as to right, we can't now cure one of these diseases. You know, your game of Pandemic has changed forever. The fact that you can name things is beautiful. Like you make it your own game, you make it a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, naming the characters.
yeah,
like in
naming
Risk
characters.
Legacy, it was naming the cities and stuff.
Yeah. In this, you name your characters. You can name your diseases.
Oh
as
yeah.
well.
Sorry.
Um,
Can you remember the name of our diseases?
there was obviously Coda. There was
Coda.
Terracotta.
Terracotta,
Googe.
Googe Googe,
Oh,
and the last one that we
what
named.
was the yellow one?
I wouldn't have remembered this.
Terror.
No.
Do you want me to give you a clue?
Yeah.
Euros. Euro 2016. Defeated England.
Iceland.
And what was the famous thing about Iceland?
Who?
Oh, the
Yeah.
Icelandic clap.
Yeah.
But the fact that halfway through the game it'll introduce new characters with new abilities and you know, you don't just have the medical centres, you have the military zones as well. Military bases,
I
which
think, yeah.
throw in something different, and then you're building military bases because they actually do serve a purpose, and then suddenly bam, they're the worst things ever.
Okay, right.
I think
Here's something though, right? For instance, El Grande was on my list at number 8, and I've played it 14 times.
Yes.
Which isn't many times, but there's nothing stopping me apart from lethargic housemates from playing it more times. You've played Pandemic Legacy 16 times, right? Are you ever going to play it again? And therefore, does that make it a worse game?
I think you buy it knowing that it will be an experience.
Yeah. Now I'm not talking about financially.
No. But you buy it knowing that it will be an experience and that it will run out.
Maybe if you viewed it like a film, it's one of those films that you know is critically good, but there are other action films or maybe things that you could just constantly watch every Sunday, but you know that film was just better.
I have to disagree because the mediums are so different. There is no other medium in which this is as applicable. The closest thing I could imagine would be a video game. Let's say your Halos, your Call of Duties, you play them, then you play them online for X number of hours.
Yeah.
This is more like a Telltale game.
Where you play
really,
it, and then that's
you
your
might
story.
only get the enjoyment of a Telltale game.
I think maybe that's the thing
once.
that makes it, that elevated it so much for people and for our group, because we really enjoyed playing it, was that thing of, this is our story, and this is the way we told it.
Yeah.
So, do you think pretentious shut up and sit down point eminent? Do you think that Pandemic Legacy, therefore, the restriction the game puts on you, is one of those things that in the modern era where we can buy bananas at any time of the year in the supermarkets and I can watch any episode of any television show anytime I want on the catch-up, and I can listen to any song. I don't have to turn on the radio and wait for my favourite song. I can listen to any song that I want. The reason that Pandemic Legacy appeals is because of those deliberate constraints. In the same way, Twitter constrains you to 100. There's no reason that Twitter needs to constrain you to 160 characters, but it's a popular medium. Is it 160?
140.
Oh, that's revealed my ignorance.
Jesus, social media loser.
But they don't need to do that. But they do it, and it keeps. And that's one of the reasons that Twitter's been successful. Like,
as I said, I bought it in the full knowledge that it was going to be an experience, and once that experience is done, that's it. We didn't play it 24 times, which is the maximum we can play it. Like, no, but you know, I feel if you buy a game and you play it 12 times over the course of a year, that's a good number.
I don't disagree with the number of times we played it, because, for instance, we've played this more times than I've played El Grande. But we can, in our lifetimes, play El Grande more times.
Thing is, Russ, my mate, was on about getting Pandemic Legacy, and he was going to invite me and Claire to play it again, knowing that we'd been playing it through anyway. And Claire and I both said, well, yes, happily play it again, but we won't. We'll purposely, we won't.
You'll have to almost sit there, watching Bake Off with someone when you know who's being eliminated.
Yeah. When there's a choice of A or B, we won't influence you.
Yeah.
Like you, it's your game. It's your story. You make the decision.
I played Walking Dead, the Telltale game, with Sean in the room, and Sean did not say, "Oh, careful on that. Is it? Are you sure you want?" You know what I mean? Like,
but also, even though you know certain things are coming up, your board will be different. You know.
No question.
Yeah.
If Coda is a different, I am fascinated what the game would be like if Coda was a different colour.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to play this again, but I would never play it again with the four of us.
No, and it probably would be higher on my list if you could Eternal Sunshine your mind and just blank it out and play it completely fresh again.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
You know,
like,
I would really like.
I'm not saying, by the way, that because we've only played it 16 times, it's not good. I'm just devil's advocate.
I would really like them to
make season 2.
Well, but I'd really like them to almost bring out like a season 1.5 in a way where it is where you have essentially a clean board. And things you can stick on, so you can build up a scenario. So you're in this month, So this much has happened.
I see.
And
So you're almost talking there about really pandemic with scenarios,
Yes.
rather than pandemic legacy.
Yeah.
So
Which is what a lot of the extra expansions for regular pandemic do. But
Mm.
the thing, right? This will be on a lot of people's top 10 lists. This isn't on mine because the thing, exactly, the thing that spoilers for the rest of my list, but the thing
Very
that
fortunate, dude.
like I really enjoyed playing it. Fascinating experience. I really like the Hollywood aspect of things and adding in the fading.
it
and all
is
that.
Hollywood.
It's
That's
a
a
Hollywood
really, really
game,
apt
right?
word. Yeah.
But it's still such an alpha gamer game.
That's very
And
true.
Yeah.
while it's meant to be this thematic, filmic experience as you're playing it, there are still optimal moves that you should do to make sure the game you win, right? Now I approached Pandemic Legacy from a viewpoint of I would do what was thematically
Yes.
like
yes.
my character.
And I'll take the scar that's most thematically
Yeah.
appropriate, even though it cripples this
Now-
character.
And if I was playing this by myself,
With four of Ben's,
with
four Ben's,
Bens,
your score,
My
you would
score-
have definitely played 24 games.
my score would probably be terrible, but I would have enjoyed the game infinitely more because I'd approached it from a way of. It's that thing of
So
game.
don't you
it's that
think-
thing of game ownership.
Don't you
Yeah,
think
so-
then that you should play this again with a different group?
I would love to play this again with a different group because the decisions I'd make would be totally
Why
different
didn't
from
you
the
Beast to? You should play it with the Beast of War guys. I'd
Maybe.
maybe play it like that.
They
Do you know them?
Yes. Well, we've talked
I think
about
that'd be
we've,
like
we've
a
talked
boot camp
we've
or
talked
something.
about playing this game
Imagine a
because
Pandemic Legacy boot
because-
camp, man.
because Warren and Lloyd, everybody really likes this game, wants to play it, and we actually have it in the
That'd be
studio. and
really
everything.
cool.
But I reckon coming at that with a game with a whole bunch of people that have not played a lot of Pandemic, because all the guys that I work with haven't played Pandemic a lot. So they're going to approach the game from a, oh man, this is going to be cool if I do this and I go here as the soldier kind of thing.
What would that be like, eh? To play with somebody who thought that'd be cool if I did that. Oh, it doesn't matter that Europe will collapse, because that's what my character would do. Imagine that, Ben.
No, but that well, there we go. But that's the thing that I think holds this game off my top 10. It probably sits around 12, 13, something like that. Because I really enjoyed playing it. It was a fascinating experience. It's an experience that I reckon can only be replicated with existing properties. For example, Seafall.
Which we haven't played.
We haven't played,
We haven't
but
played.
from a lot of the reviews, because it's a new property that's come out, and it has it has nothing to fall back on. The mechanics fall down
Right.
compared to the next step of it.
Would you play Season 2?
I would play Season 2.
Yes.
You would obviously play
Yes.
Season 2. I would definitely
Right.
play Season 2.
There is another game on my list that blows this one out of the water for me because I find it a decidedly more exciting experience that fills the same gap as Pandemic Legacy.
Tune in next time.
I think the same game is on my list and higher up my list for similar reasons.
Yeah.
What could it be? Trish Legacy.